Welcome to Christian TV. Bible quiz from the Holy Bible. You conquer this test of your biblical knowledge. Before we start, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button to help us spread God's teachings. Share your score in the comments after the quiz. We're eager to hear from you, supporting us in bringing God's Word to more people. Ready? Let's dive into the video. Bible quiz from the book of Leviticus Chapter 2. The grain offering was to be made of: Option A, fresh grains of wheat and barley. Option B, stalks of grain. Option C, fine flour. Option D, unbaked bread. The right answer is option C, fine flour. What two substances were to be added to the grain offering? Option A, oil and incense. Option B, oil and cinnamon. Option C, oil and sugar. Option D, incense and honey. The right answer is option A, oil and incense. What two substances were not to be added to a grain offering? Option A, yeast and salt. Option B, yeast and honey. Option C, yeast and incense. Option D, yeast and oil. The right answer is option B, yeast and honey. How much of the grain offering was burned on the altar? Option A, a spoonful. Option B, a handful. Option C, a omer, 2 liters. Option D, an ephah. The right answer is option B, a handful. The part of the grain offering that was not burned on the altar belonged to whom? Option A, the poor. Option B, the Levites. Option C, Moses and the elders. Option D, Aaron and his sons. The right answer is option D, Aaron and his sons. What 3 ways could the regular grain offering be cooked? Option A, over a fire in an oven on a grill. Option B, in a pan, on a grill, in an oven. Option C, in an oven, on a griddle, in a pan. Option D, over a fire, in a pan, in a jar. The right answer is option C, in an oven, on a griddle, in a pan. If a grain offering was made in an oven, it could be formed into: Option A, loaves. Option B, wafers. Option C, crumbs. Option D, chips. The right answer is option B, wafers. After the grain offering was presented to the priest, where did the priest take it? Option A, to the altar. Option B, to the tent of meeting. Option C, home. Option D, to the tabernacle table. The right answer is option A, to the altar. What type of grain offering was not to be offered on the altar? Option A, the Sabbath harvest. Option B, the baked grain offering. Option C, the first fruits. Option D, the barley offering. The right answer is option C, the first fruits. All grain offerings were to be seasoned with: Option A, anise. Option B, cinnamon. Option C, myrrh. Option D, salt. The right answer is option D, salt. If the grain offering was of the first fruits, it could be: Option A, baked. Option B, roasted in the fire. Option C, cooked on the altar. Option D, fried in a pan. The right answer is option B, roasted in the fire. If the grain offering was of the first fruits, it was not to be fine flour, but option A, crushed heads of new grain. Option B, grain with the stalks. Option C, only to be baked into bread. Option D, whole grains never crushed or ground. The right answer is option A, crushed heads of new grain. The grain offering was said to be an offering made to the Lord by Dace. Option A, Israel. Option B, priests. Option C, fire. Option D, His Holiness. The right answer is option C, fire.